Have you ever felt like something essential was missing from all the spiritual teachings that you've heard, felt, experienced? Like there's a part of you deep and quietly sacred that no one's quite speaking to in your life. Maybe you've asked yourself something along the lines of, can I really be fully human and fully divine at the same time? Can life itself, relationships, work, pleasure, even pain, be part of this spiritual path that I'm living right now? If those kind of questions have ever lived in you, expressed through you, bubbled to the surface of consciousness, then welcome. You're in the right place. Stay with me for the next 10 or so minutes as I take you through 6 short chapters exploring what Non-Dual Śaiva Tantra actually is. So this is based on my studies with my teacher, Christopher Harish Wallace, and my studying of, for this video, Tantra Illuminated chapter, I'll put it in the description. Okay. Chapter 1 of this video, what is Non-Dual Śaiva Tantra? Non-Dual Śaiva Tantra is a spiritual path that emerged in northern India over 1,000 years ago, reaching its peak in the 9th to 12th centuries. It's not just a set of beliefs, it's a living transmission, a way of being in the world that says everything is divine. Everything. Even the parts we've been taught and conditioned to see as impure, mundane, or broken, at its heart, Non-Dual Śaiva Tantra teaches that there is only one reality. Call it God, call it the divine, call it consciousness, nature, universe, that, whatever label you reach for. In Sanskrit, I'll leave a video there about Sanskrit. This reality has 2 faces, Śiva and Shakti. Śiva is considered pure consciousness, formless, still, ungraspable. That's what it represents. This witnessing awareness behind all experience. It's often deified as the masculine polarity. It's the part of you watching the movie of your life, not the part of you actually on the screen in the experience that's worried about what's going to happen next. That is Shakti. Oh, it's just a very good tune. Building the aligned massage playlist, and it's good. Shakti is that same consciousness in motion. It's the part of you manifesting as the world, as your thoughts, your emotions, your breath, the sound of this voice that you're hearing right now. All of that is Shakti at play. She is everything you can touch, taste, see, feel, and long for. And here's the crucial insight. These 2 are not separate. They're not even 2. They're like fire and its heat, different words for one essence, opposite sides of the same coin. Schrodinger's cat, dog. This is what non-dual means. There is only one reality appearing in many forms. Your body, Shakti. Your awareness, that's Śiva. Your longing, it's both. NDST isn't about escaping the world. That's what I'm trying to convey with aligned living. Even though it can feel like it sometimes, this desire to escape. That is Shakti at play. Śiva can either witness it or become it. It's about experiencing the divine in and as the world, in totality, experiencing all of it. This is the beginning of meditation. Chapter 2, the 4 aspects of practice. Okay, in NDST and in aligned living, Spiritual practice isn't one size fits all. That's why I stepped back from teaching classes and why I'm offering one-on-one experiences. The person in front of you, it's a unique individual. A one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't work. Spiritual practice in NDST unfolds in 4 interwoven aspects, each opening the door to divine presence. View teachings, contemplating the nature of reality, shifting perception from separation to unity. Put simply, studying. Not necessarily to learn, but also to remember. Meditative practice, meditative ritual, practices of devotion, mantra, and presence that attune us to the sacred. Anything that drops you into a meditative state where you're present and attuned to what's flowing is that. Washing the dishes, walking the dog, making love, whatever it might be for you. Number 3, subtle body yoga, breath, energy, and body-based techniques that activate our inner cosmos. Essentially, activation and movement of internal energy. Aesthetic cultivation es número 4. I'm trying. Yes, even beauty and the senses are paths to God in the tantric path. Enjoying the world of the senses. That's the gift of being in this body. Enjoying the world around you for the beautiful experience of chaos in motion that it is. Because this isn't about turning away from life, it's about turning towards it with sacred eyes. It's an integrative path, not a transcendental one. Okay, my story. Little insight into me. The first time I encountered these teachings was around 2020. And in truth, I wasn't ready for them. I was struggling in the relationship I was in at the time, having difficulties connecting with myself and my then partner. I was out of alignment with my life, discontent in ways. I felt like there was something wrong with me, and how deeply I could sometimes feel alone, isolated, even when around someone. The world too sensitive, too intense, too much to handle. I hadn't learnt how to regulate my nervous system and align with life's undulations. It was a few months later, in fact, that I picked Harish's Tantra Illuminated book back up again. The thing is the size of an encyclopedia, and it is rich with information. For some, it may be intimidating. Maybe that's how I felt, that there was a pull towards it. And when I began reading it, when I really allowed myself to drop into it for the first time, my inner world started to make more sense. And that's not to say everything changed for the better in the snap of a fingers, in a dramatic turn of events overnight. No, that relationship came to a close. I felt discontent in my career. I felt isolated from the world. This was just after COVID. But I did feel safer. I felt seen and understood in a way that I hadn't done previously at a deeper level. Harish in his book was describing things that I had experienced, thought, felt. He was telling me about myself without ever having met me, which meant that what I was experiencing, what I was beginning to understand about life and the nature of reality, was not just me. I'm alone in that. And do you want to know the truth? I'm still learning to live this. I have days where I'm exhausted, where I'm challenged by emotion, or stories do their best to get the better of me. And some moments they do. But the difference now is it's not for as long as it used to be. And that's been the shift. That's changed everything. That is changing everything. One step at a time. There may be 12 steps in recovery, but there are countless more in life. Okay, chapter 4. A teacher and a community. NDST places a strong emphasis on finding a teacher, receiving proper initiation, and walking with a community. Why? Because waking up to the truth of who you are, fully human and fully divine, can be tender, destabilizing, confusing, wildly beautiful, and everything else in between. And it helps to have someone who's walked that path or is walking that path, others who are walking it with you. Especially in those moments where life distracts you and you wander off on a tangent, off-pisting, following threads, telling tales, wobbling plates, dodging wrenches. Hey, chapter 5. Not a renunciate path. One of the most beautiful things about this path is that it doesn't ask you to run away from your life. As tempting maybe as that is for some people. It's not about renouncing the world. It's not about selling everything and going and living in a cave. It's about finding the reverence for life. How can cooking dinner become a ritual? Making love become a meditation? Grieving become a sacred fire that ignites a passion? Even checking your email can be done in full presence with joy sometimes. It's a choice. Though not always an easy one, it is a simple one. This is why NDST was called the new and easy method, because spirituality doesn't have to be hard. It just has to be real. Chapter 6. Outro and invitation. We're coming to a close. So if you've ever wondered, is there a path that welcomes my whole self, that sees my body, my senses, my mess as sacred? The answer is yes. Non-Dual Śaiva Tantra offers a map. But more than that, it offers a mirror. It reflects back what you've always known deep down. You are already doing it. You are already divine. Life, you, your challenges doesn't get more God than it already is. It just becomes more aligned when you're open to it, which then invites a net positive outlook on life and the opportunity to enjoy the journey more. I'm sharing this not as a teacher, but as someone who's walking with you, curious, humbled, and in awe of this mystery, a guide just a further few steps ahead along the misty path, the winding road to wherever you're moving next. This is aligned living. This is living aligned. Being in contact with intimacy. If this has stirred something in you, if your heart has whispered something to you whilst watching, then an invitation to stay connected. This is only the beginning. Salut.